Assalamualaikum and good morning to all. Okay, since it is morning. All right, so how are you today? I hope all of you are feeling good. Okay, so as what have been promised that I will put my video right for all those chapters which I'm not able to cover in the class. So I will make a video. So here I am. So today I will share my lecture on interest rate parity. Yeah? Sorry, not interest rate parity. It is yeah, interest rate parity is part of the arbitrage. So today we'll go through the arbitrage. Okay. Yeah. Before I go in depth in this particular chapter, I hope you have already put your best effort to study for all the chapters which I have shared with you. The tips for your final exam. I hope all of you have go through all the chapters that will be covered for your final exam. Okay, actually the slide that I'm sharing with you is not enough for you to answer, to helps you to answer for your final exam question. You also need to refer to the book. Okay, you need to refer to a lot of sources, not only because there are a lot of, if you don't buy the book, you can refer a lot of source from ebook. Yeah, okay, there's a lot of ebook where you can find it in Mr. Google. Okay, actually there's a lot of ebook that you can refer to. Don't only rely on the slide, because slide is just a guidance. It is a guidance for you to understand, okay, for that particular chapter, but not as a main source. Okay, all right. So for today, I will share with you my lecture on international arbitrage and interest rate parity. How normally people conduct this arbitrage and make profits uh, from their transaction. Okay, so all of these are the objective of this particular chapter. At the end of this chapter, what you will learn. Okay, so before we go through in depth what is arbitrage, okay, you need to understand first the definition of arbitrage itself. Okay, let me connect my writing pad. I forgot to connect my writing pad. Okay, all right. Okay, so what is arbitrage? Okay, for those who have come across this arbitrage or really involved in this arbitrage, so might be you have understand what is arbitrage, but this is just a what we said, this is just some revision. This is just what we said, just things to guide you. And for those who haven't deal with this arbitrage, don't worry, we will learn together. Okay, so what is arbitrage? Arbitrage can be loosely defined as capitalizing on a discrepancy in quoted prices to make a riskless profit. So it is actually where arbitrage is a process where you want to protect yourself. You want to protect yourself from making loss, okay, because of the exchange rate discrepancies. Okay, because there are in exchange rate what we said differences. Okay, because let's say for instance, like you have bank A and bank B. Okay, both of them are using the same quoted exchange rate. For instance, like you have New Zealand dollar, and then you also and then you want to buy US dollar. Okay, so you have two choice, whether bank A or bank B. Okay, so you want to make transaction, and that particular transaction that you do, you want to ensure that you will not make loss. Okay, so that is arbitrage, right? So the effect of arbitrage on demand and supply is to cause prices to realign such that no further risk-free profit can be made. So this arbitrage actually will helps you to protect yourself from loss and not helps the others to make higher profits. Okay, so it actually, when you make that transaction, it actually will offset. Okay, so no parties will make extra profit based on this arbitrage. So there are three types of arbitrage. We have locationalized arbitrage, triangular arbitrage, and also covered interest rate arbitrage. We'll take a look one by one. Locationalized arbitrage. When will you do this locationalized arbitrage? Locationalized arbitrage is possible when a bank buying price, which is the bid price. So normally you will use the bank. You will assume you as a bank, you as a banker. Okay, so you will buy at bid price uh, is higher than another bank selling price, which is the ask price from the same currency. So how do you know it is locationalized, a locational arbitrage? You will know it is locational arbitrage when when there are two banks and then both bank, their foreign currency quoted are the same. Okay, if you see here inside here the example, Bank C, the new it is you have the New Zealand dollar and quoted it is US dollar. You want to change it to US dollar. Same goes to Bank D. So the currency is the same. Okay, New Zealand dollar and then it is quoted in US dollar. Okay, which is your home currency. Okay, so that is when you know it is locationalized arbitrage. Okay, so how you gonna solve this problem? Okay, how you gonna make profits from this transaction? Because you have New Zealand dollars, so now you want to change to US dollar. So which bank should you choose? Okay, so which rate should you choose? Because we know that buying price is the bid price, okay? And then selling price is the ask price. So now you have New Zealand dollar and you want to buy US dollar. So you have to sell first. You have to sell the New Zealand dollar. Okay, so how at what price should you sell? You should sell at the lowest price. Okay, so you see here the ask price here, because you want to sell the New Zealand dollar, so you look at the ask price. Okay, so you look at the ask price, which one is the lowest? Okay, the lowest is 0.64 dollar, US dollar. So you use this price. So that's why you buy New Zealand dollar from Bank C, okay, at 64 cent. Okay, and then sell it. Okay, now you have US dollar. Okay, so you want to sell. Later, you want to buy back. You want to buy back the US dollar. Okay, now you have the New Zealand dollar. Okay, you sell New Zealand dollar at a very low price, which is 0.64. Now you want to buy back. Okay, you have sell New Zealand dollar, so now you want to have US dollar, so you have to buy US dollar. Okay, so you buy at a very high price. Okay, so you buy at this price. Okay, don't buy at a very low price, buy at a very high price here. Okay, because you have sell at a very high lower price, right? Okay, so when you buy at a very high price. Okay, so when you buy it at as compared to this price, you buy it at 0.645 dollar US dollar. Okay, so that's how you make profits. Okay, so how to find the profits? So you just find the difference. Okay, so 0.645 dollar minus 0.64 dollars, so you will get 0.05 uh, New Zealand dollar. Okay, all right, so that is for locationalized arbitrage, how you will make profits based on that arbitrage. And the second one is triangular arbitrage. Okay, triangular arbitrage is possible when a cross exchange rate could differ from the rate calculated from the spot rate codes. You know you have to use triangular arbitrage when you are given three rates. Okay, the first one is the British. The first one is the foreign currency quoted in home currency. The second one is another foreign currency, another country foreign currency quoted in home currency, which is US dollar. And the next one is foreign currency quoted in foreign currency, which is the one that is here. Okay, that is here and here. So it is quoted based on that foreign currency. Okay, so that is when you know you are dealing with triangular arbitrage. Okay, how you gonna make profits based on that triangular arbitrage? Okay, let's see here the example here. Now you have 1 pound. 1 pound equals to 8 ringgit and 10 cent. Okay, so you want to buy. Okay, you want to buy because bid price is the buying price. Okay, so now you want to buy British pound. Okay, so you want to buy British pound. So 1 British pound equals to 8 ringgit and 10 cent. Okay, so 8 ringgit and 10 cent you times with 0.2. Okay. Oh, sorry. This one is the one that you have. Sorry, this one is the one that you have. 1 British pound equals to 8 ringgit and 10 cent. Okay, so now you want to convert. Okay, you want to convert to US dollar. So you have Malaysian ringgit. Okay, 8 ringgit and 10 cent. You want to convert it into US dollar. Okay, so you convert it using the bid price here. Okay, because you have Malaysian ringgit, right? So you use the Malaysian ringgit. 1 ringgit equals to this one. Okay. So you convert it, you times. Okay. Equals to this much. Okay. And then now you have US dollar. You want to convert back to pound. Okay. So that is when you times with $1.60. Okay, so that is what happened because in this one, now you have British pound. Sorry, you have ringgit Malaysia. Okay, ringgit Malaysia. So now you want to convert into US dollar first. Okay, because you know that is how you make profits. That is how you make profits. Okay, so uh based on this, after you have convert into US dollar, then you buy back the pound. Okay, so you buy back the pound, you will use this price. Okay, so that is when you know you make profits. Okay, so you buy at $1.61, and then you calculate how much is it. Okay, so you make profits of 1 cent actually. Okay. And that is for triangular arbitrage. Okay, that is what happened in this triangular arbitrage. So you have Malaysian dollar, Malaysian ringgit. So Malaysian ringgit you convert into pound. Okay, Malaysian ringgit you convert into US dollar. Then US dollar you convert into pound. Okay, then only you will calculate how much is actually the profits that you make. When the actual and calculated cross exchange rate differ, triangular arbitrage will force them back into equilibrium. This is when it will avoid from any parties to make extra profit because it will offset back. Your transaction will offset back. Okay, and the next one is cover interest arbitrage. Cover interest arbitrage happens when you have the forward and spot rate. And then you have also the interest rate difference. Cover interest rate arbitrage is the process of capitalizing on the interest rate differential between two countries while covering for exchange rate risk. Okay, you have two different interest rate. Okay, so that is when you will know whether you make profits or not. Cover interest arbitrage tends to force a relationship between forward rate premium and interest rate differential. So you will have forward rate and also interest rate differential. So based on that, you will calculate how much is actually the profits that you make. Okay, so example here, it gives you the pound spot rate. Okay, pound spot rate for 90 days. So the cost is $1.60. Okay, and then it gives you two interest rate, which is US interest rate and also UK interest rate, which is 2% and 4%. Okay, and then borrow. How can you convert this? How can you perform this covered interest arbitrage? So you borrow dollar. Okay, you borrow US dollar because you borrow at a very low price. Okay, borrow at 3% or use existing fund which earning interest at 2%. Okay, and then convert US dollar to pound at $1.60. So first you borrow at 3%. Okay, so you borrow at 3%. So the in the middle here, borrow dollar at 3%, and then or use existing fund which earning interest at 2%. So or you can just use this 2% as compared to the middle rate. So you can just use 2%. Convert this US dollar to pound. Okay. Once you have borrow, then only you convert. Okay, after you have borrow, you convert, and then you engage, then you lend. You give them back to borrow. Okay, you lend at 4%, then you make profits. But profits are not achieved instantaneously, so that's how cover interest rate arbitrage take place. Okay, first you borrow at a very low price, and then you convert the rate, then you lend back at a very high rate. Okay, so this is the difference between the arbitrage strategy, locationalized, the triangular, and also the last one, which is cover interest arbitrage. So locational arbitrage is where capitalize on discrepancies in exchange rate across location. So you have two banks, or you have banks in different location in different country, but the quotation are the same. You have one foreign currency equals to equals to the home currency, and this both parties actually offer the same quotation but in different price. And then you look at the arbitrage, the triangular arbitrage. Triangular arbitrage is where capitalize on discrepancies in cross exchange rate. Okay, so you will have three exchange rate. Okay, so the first one is the rate that you want to change, which is the foreign currency to foreign currency quotation. And then you will also have the foreign currency and two foreign currency and also home currency quotation will be given. So that is when you know you will involve with this arbitrage strategy. And the last one is capitalized interest arbitrage. I think this one, cover interest arbitrage. This one is easy for you to recognize whether you involve in this cover interest arbitrage or not. So this one is where it involved with the interest rate discrepancies, which means that you have two different interest rate, and also you are given one spot rate or one forward rate. So that is when you know you involve with this covered interest arbitrage. Okay, so comparing arbitrage strategy, any discrepancy will trigger arbitrage. Okay, so any discrepancy in currency will cause arbitrage, which will then eliminate the discrepancy, thus making foreign exchange market more orderly. Okay, so that is when we make our foreign exchange market transaction become organized, more organized. Okay, so when there is a discrepancies in all this foreign exchange, so we know this interest rate parity will comes. That is when the interest rate parity will comes. So interest rate parity will comes as a result of market forces. When there is a market factor, like interest rate, exchange rate, we have sometimes the inflation. Okay, so the forward rate differ from the spot rate by an amount that sufficiently offset the interest rate differential between two currencies. So this is happens when we have this cover interest arbitrage. When you have two different interest rate, okay, two different interest rate, actually it will offset back with the amount of a spot rate. Then cover interest arbitrage is no longer feasible, and the equilibrium state achieved is referred to interest rate parity. So that this is the how we derive to interest rate parity, how we want to calculate the interest rate parity. Okay, so you will use this formula. Okay, all right, so how you going to calculate the forward premium? So 1 plus home interest rate divide by 1 plus foreign interest rate minus by 1. So this is how you calculate the forward premium. Actually, I don't really stress towards all the calculation, because I mean, in the final exam, I didn't put any calculation question. All is the managerial or theory part only. Okay, so let's see this how you calculate the forward premium. So suppose 6-month interest rate peso. So it is 6%. You have two different interest rate. From US investor perspective, how you calculate the forward premium. So this is the formula that you will use. 1 plus home interest rate divide by 1 plus foreign interest rate minus with 1. Okay, so 1 plus 0.05, which is the home foreign currency, sorry, home divide by foreign, which is 6%, okay, minus with 1. So you got negative. So how to calculate if a spot rate equals to US dollars 10 cent per peso? So how you gonna calculate this forward rate? So as the spot rate times with 1 plus the difference, the forward premium. Okay, so that is the formula. All right, so spot rate is this one times with 1 minus this rate. Okay, so you will get this much. All right. So this is how you determine the forward premium. So this is the formula that you will use. So the approximated form is premium equals to interest of home minus interest of foreign. Provide a reasonable estimate when the interest rate differential is small. Okay, so if you see here, the interest rate parity, this is the line for interest rate parity. So the line, the dot that is on the interest rate parity, we know that that a point is where the interest parity hold. Okay, so there is some meaning. What is the meaning of this point below here? What is the meaning of this point below here? Or if let's say the point is above here, there is a meaning about that. Okay, so what does it mean? Okay, if it falls below the IRP line, which is here, so it is a zone of potential covered interest arbitrage by local investors. So which means that the covered interest arbitrage is owned by the local investor. But when it is here, it is owned by the foreign investor. Okay, so how we want to test this existence of interest rate parity? To test whether interest rate parity exists or not, collect actual interest rate differential and forward premium for various currency and plot them on a graph. Okay, so you find the difference and then collect the and then you look at the forward premium and then you plot them on a graph. Okay, do a calculation for that premium. Then you plot it in a graph. Then you will look whether it is above or below the IRP line. IRP holds when covered interest arbitrage is not possible or worthwhile. So it tells you when does interest rate parity holds. Interest rate parity holds when covered interest arbitrage is not possible. Okay, you will feel that it is not possible, which is above or below the line, which is not possible lah. Right, when it is on the line, it is possible for that particular interest rate parity to hold. But when it is above or below the line, so that is when it is not possible. Okay, so what does it mean? Okay, when IRP exists, what does it mean? It does not mean that both local and foreign investor will earn the same return. No. What it means is that investor cannot use covered interest arbitrage to achieve higher return than those achievable in their respective home countries. So actually this interest rate parity wants to explain to us that no parties will get extra profit. Okay, all of the transaction will be offset. So all of the parties will get profits, but not at a very high price, not at a very high uh, profits. Okay, if you see here, does interest rate parity hold? Okay, so we know that the parity will be at this line, right? I will touch at this line. So we want to know, does IRP hold? Okay, various empirical studies indicate that IRP generally holds. Okay, based on previous study. If you search a lot of uh, articles, if you search a lots of article in IRP, normally researchers say that IRP generally holds. While there are deviation from IRP. they are often not large enough to make covered interest rate arbitrage worthwhile. Even though interest rate arbitrage holds, but normally investor or uh, who do the transaction, they will not get more profits, a lot of profits based on this arbitrage. This is due to the characteristic why they will not get a lot of profit because of this factor, because of the transaction cost, political risk, differential tax law. So because of this, they will not get high profits. So this is the IRP line. So what does it tells you? So the based on this transaction cost, this is when uh, we have this transaction cost. Okay, so this is explain about the political risk and differential laws. This one you can read on your own. Okay, so this is the changes in forward premium. I guess that's all for this particular chapter. So I hope you will get something from this lecture. Okay, if you still have any doubts, please do let me know. All right. For that, I will stop this lecture. So I will continue with the next chapter and share with all of you. Okay. Bye.